Okay guys, so let's get into part 2 of how to actually execute your project. So we talked about how to record and how to transfer to the computer in part 1. So now we're going to talk part 2 in terms of actually editing. So the first thing you're going to need to do is to import your video. So when you open up iMovie, then it's going to look a little something like this. So what you need to do is go to the File menu, File, and Import. And let me move this out the way. Okay, so File, Import, and we're going to import movies. And from there you can import the movie that you want. If you have it on a flash drive, then your flash drive will show up over here near devices. If you have it on your Google Drive or on box.com or on Dropbox, then you'll have to actually go and download it, and more than likely it'll show up in your downloads folder. So what you would do then is that you would go ahead and click on the file, and then you want to add it, or I'm sorry, you want to create a new event. So I'm going to call mine, I already made one called Miss Thomas, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But you want to name yours your name, and then you want to make sure to move the files instead of copying them, because that's going to save space on the computer. So once you have that, then you're going to go ahead and click this import button. And what it's going to do right now is that it is finding the file, and actually I think I messed up a little bit. Let me do that one more time. So I'm clicking on import, and then okay, so here we go. Let me do import the recording walkthrough. So let's say that this is a file that I had. So I'm going to import that, and it is now moving my file into where I told it to go. And you'll see that it'll go relatively quickly if it's a small file. Might take a little longer if it's a bigger file. So it's important right now. Great. So it has finished, or it's going to finish importing once this little spinning thing stops spinning here. Okay, so I know it's here. So what I want to do now is I want to go up here to File and then New Project. And once I click on that, it's going to give me the option for different project themes and movie trailers. I'm going to leave that alone for now. If you want to go in there and play with it, then that's totally fine. I'm going to set it as no theme, and I'm just going to name it. And this right here, it lets you change between widescreen and standard. I mean, if you ever had the option on a DVD which one you wanted to see, then you probably know what these two mean. But if not, just leave it alone. I would leave it at widescreen. Frame rate, it says 30 FPS. That stands for frames per second, and that's what we want it to be since we're recording in video. If we were recording in film, we'd want it to be 24, but that's a little bit more technical there. So let's just keep it simple and stay at 30 frames per second. And you can have it automatically add transitions. I wouldn't if I were you. So I'm going to click on create. And you see now I have this blank canvas up here where I can go ahead and drag and drop. Okay, so these right here is where your video has imported. I've actually imported it twice. Okay, let me get rid of this first one here. Okay, alright, so this is what I just imported. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to find the parts of my video that I like. Let's say I like this right here. I'll just select it. So what I did is that I clicked and I dragged, and then now I'm going to just click and drag it up to my timeline up here. Yay! Yeah, Olivia just walked in and she's saying yeah, so yeah. And now she's walking out. Awesome. So I clicked and I dragged, and now I have it all up here. Now let's say that there's part of it that I want to take out. All I have to do is hold down my mouse and just drag what I want to take out, and then I hit the delete button. Look at that, it's gone. So let's say I was saying 3, 2, 1 up here. Then all I would have to do is click and drag and delete. Then it's gone. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the good parts now out of my footage. So let's say these are all good parts, and I like them. I'm just going to drag and drop them where I want them to go. I can even change up the order. You know, I can put some pieces in between. Whatever. It doesn't have to all go in order. You can move stuff around once it's there. You know, whatever. You can even trim it. You know, you can trim it in here. You can move this stuff. Whatever's clever. Okay, just like that. So let's say that I have all the pieces of my puzzle together. I've gone through, I made sure that they sound good. They have everything I need. I've cut out the beginning parts that I don't want me going 3, 2, 1, the end parts, all that good stuff. So the next thing I want to do is that I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to have this nice inspector pop up. I'm going to go to audio, and down here I'm going to click on normalize clip volume. And what that does is that it helps me make sure that all these clips are at about the same level. So you don't have one that's like really low and another one that's like really loud. I'm sure you've heard it on the morning announcements when I have forgotten to do this. You might have like a little kid speaking quietly, and then you get to the theme song and it's, blast your eardrums out. So you want to definitely make sure to normalize the audio. Okay. Another thing that you can do is that you can add transitions to make your slides, to make your scenes better. See, watch this.
But what you want to do, you want to make sure to always record like this. You never want to record with a cloud on your own.
So that is what is known as a jump cut. So your job is to prevent jump cuts because they're ugly. So one thing that can help us is over here in this transitions menu, and you have a variety of different options. If you hold your mouse on them, then they'll show you what they do. I tend to like this cube one. So if you want it, you can just kind of drag it and drop it. I'm just going to go ahead and put it wherever I want it to go. And now when I look at it,
always record like this. You never want to record on your own.
Okay, so that was still choppy because I cut in the middle of a sentence, which you don't want to do. But you see how we have this nice transition here, where I'm going from this shot to this shot with a nice cube spin. Also, if I double click on the actual transition itself, then I can change the speed. I can make it be a slow cube spin by setting it to 3 seconds. And this applies to all transitions. That makes me only have to do it once. And now my cube spin will be 3 seconds here, 2, here, everything like that. So watch.
But what you want to do, you want to make sure to always record like this, or you can come see me and
there we go. Slow cube spin. So you can always edit the times. Okay. Nice thing at the end, you might want to do a little fade to black, and that'll look cool.
To your full advantage. The other way to do it would be,
and you see how it fades out the sound in the video. So while we're here, let's look at some other cool things you can do. Over here you can add music and sound effects. They have iMovie sound effects, like that alarm or baseball bat. Or let's see if they have like, oh, this is nice. Crowd boo. Yeah, let's put that. Let's put that right here. All I'm doing, I'm dragging and dropping it. And there it is, the boo at the beginning.
So you've already done step 1 probably with
nice welcome for me, right? So now I can add that in wherever I see fit. There's other cool things you can do. They give you iLife sound effects, like a grandfather clock, and you can preview it like that. So, and over here it tells you the time too. So yeah, if I were to add I just messed up. But if I were to add this grandfather clock, just drag and drop, just like that, and
So you've already done step 1 probably, which is the plan, or if not, then you're probably working on it right now. But I'm just going to go into...
Okay, simple. So just drag and drop. That's all there is. Let me take out all this audio because we really don't need it. Over here we can add in pictures that we've taken. So we have a bunch of Dr. Sama. We can add in lower thirds and text. This is good. Like at the beginning, if you want to put a title, then you can just drag and drop this over here. And it gives you a nice little background. So let's say I want this one here. So let me just double click in here. Demo screen, or demo editing session by Madame Thomas. Okay. And I can always make this longer by double clicking on it and changing the duration. Just like that. So now it's 10 seconds. A 10-second title that I have. So you have all these lovely things to pick from down here. All these lovely, lovely choices. At the end,
so
you might want to put a scrolling credits. Give credit to everybody who worked on your project. That's a nice touch. As always, if you just kind of hover on them, then they'll give you a preview. So there's some cool stuff in there. Let's see, what have we not talked about yet? Ah, yes, this lovely maps, backgrounds, and animatics thing. So you might notice this. These might look familiar from like the morning announcements. I don't really get into these too much, but this educational globe thing, we can kind of make it spin around and do what it does, and yeah, and you can pick the end location. So let's say we want this to go to Abadan, Iran. So when we play it, then the globe does its thing and spins. Ooh, lots of cool stuff. So you can really set this up. You can be creative and have it show off your creativity. It's awesome. All the cool things you can do in iMovie, and if you learn Final Cut, you can do even more things. But yeah, so it's awesome. So once you're done, let's say you have your movie all put together, go to where it says share and then export movie. And then just make sure to save it somewhere where you'll know where it is, like your flash drive or the desktop or whatever. And export it. And it's going to create the media movie. And yeah, there you have it. That's pretty much how to edit in a nutshell. So if y'all have any questions for me, then you know where to find me, right across the hall in room 200. I think that's my room number, or 201. I don't know, wherever I am. And yeah, good luck with your projects, guys. Bye-bye.